This is our beginner class. By the way, this is what happens. If you're new here, here's what happens. I want everybody, you don't have to repeat this, but I say these things. They're just stupid things I say, but maybe it wouldn't hurt to repeat it. Here's a mantra. Maybe everybody repeat it. You don't have to do that. Repeat it. Relapse is part of recovery. I forgive myself. Relapse is always a part of recovery. You find me an addict like I was, whether it was worry, whether it was alcohol, whether it was food, we get so down on ourselves. That's what the devil wants, because we're doing good and we relapse and he pulls the rug out from under us. So relapse is part of recovery. In fact, I gained half my weight back after I lost 100 pounds, and I was devastated. I let back surgery and life get in the way, and I hid from everybody. And I was so down on myself. And then I had to forgive myself. And then I realized, wow, everybody can lose weight when they're excited. Do you know that? When you're excited, anybody, just, it could be something that's even placebo. If you're excited, you can lose weight. Those are not the days that count. The days that count are when you don't want to do this and you do it anyway. And then you feel better at the end of the day and you start getting leverage on yourself. You're like, wow, I didn't really want to do it. Kind of like going to church if you got a good church. If you got, sometimes you don't feel like it, but then you're glad you went after it's over, that kind of place. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with here. So some days you just don't feel like doing it. What happened to me after my relapse, and then I come back to the planet, I realized I got to do this whether I want to do it or not. I'm not warring against flesh and blood, but against principalities, powers, the rulers of the darkness of this world. And then I just do it, and then I feel better. So don't beat yourself up. There's story after story here. We got Cindy here today. I think Cindy's done lost another 70. She's got such a heartwarming story. We need to have her on the interview, because like many of us, she did the same thing. In fact, there was videos all over the website with Sister Cindy. She had one of the greatest success stories in the United States of America. That's a fact. I don't know if she realizes that, but one of the greatest success stories, wife, mother, entrepreneur, lost an incredible amount. I'm not going to speak for her on those specifics. Lost an incredible amount of weight, was inspiring people. In fact, people would often ask me, who owns the program, you or Cindy? Because she was such a fixture. And I mean, she just was so inspirational, and she had a setback, right, Cindy? And then now God is using her to touch lives in a whole different way. She come on back and she says, you know what? I'm going to do it again. I'm going to stick to it this time. So if you're here and you're in that boat, just realize that's a part of the journey. That's a part of the journey. Because we have limited time in the beginner session, I'm going to get with it. There's not as much time to fellowship in the beginner session. Then we go into the 10:30 session. So today is lesson 2. Thanks for that, Stacy. Joy, I hope you're feeling better. I miss you when you're not here. Thank you, Sally. Thank you. I hope to. I hope to. Y'all pray. So this is our beginner session. This is what I have felt called to do my entire life. And that is to help people with this, and to do so freely. You don't even have to give me an email address to enjoy this session. Okay. You just tune into the homepage and I'll teach you until you get tired of me teaching you. I'm not going to teach you intermediate and advanced stuff. I'm going to teach you the basics, and the basics work for everyone. Every Monday through Friday, we start a new round. You can sign up and do it officially on the website, or you can just bring a notepad and you can sit in the back of the room, so to speak, and just take notes, and you may have success and I never even know about it. Give honor and glory to God. Okay. So Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. If you're needing a meal plan, we've got that for you now. Please, everyone, if you're new here, one of the things that I'm hearing that we're going on 6 or 7 weeks now of doing these new beginner classes every single week. One of the things I'm hearing, I still don't know what to eat. Okay, we got to keep teaching, all right? It will come together. Don't overthink it. But we've got meal plans now. There's a great new meal plan. It's not based upon your likes, because I don't know your likes if you're new. But there's a great meal plan that you can use to get started. And maybe this week you're just sharpening the axe, and then you're going to do this next week with the meal plan. Lisa has that meal plan for you. Okay, so it's a beginner meal plan, but you need to get that so that you can, while you're learning, you know what to eat. It's got the basics on there. Everything you need comes from your local grocery store. Okay, all right. Lesson 1 was yesterday, your why. You got to have a why that's greater than temptation to be successful. You know that you're going to have tempting moments every single day. That devil, if you think that devil isn't coming for you, then my goodness, you are deceived. He's more real than anything you see with your natural eye, and he's out to get you. He wants to create you in his image and likeness. He wants you to fall down and worship him. And the way he does that is you not submitting to God. So we got to have a big why. We got to have a big who. Who are we? I think your mom and daddy give you a birth name, right? My name's Travis. So as a little baby, my mom and dad meant well. The name Travis meant shepherd. They wanted to give me a good name that would mean something. But as the culture around me and mom and dad and different people trained me in the way I should go, I didn't get godly training necessarily. I got some good training. I got some bad training by my parents, by my school teachers, whatever. I made a lot of bad decisions. Haven't we all? If there's anybody here that you've never made a bad decision, this is the wrong place for you. So this is not that group. We're a bunch of, we all made some bad decisions. And I made some bad ones, and I identified with the decision, and I attached my name to that. Even when I was overweight, I would look in the mirror and I'd go, I'm so fat. I'm so stupid. Why did I let this happen? I'm so ugly. I have no discipline. And that name, Travis, became synonymous with all my baggage. And then it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. The best day of your life is when God gives you a new name. You get that new name. He gave me a white name, a new name on a white stone that no one knew except for me and him. And he put it on a white stone, gave it to me. Boom, I got a new name. I don't have to, no longer do I have to identify with Travis. I can identify with being more than a conqueror, being a child of God, being made a king, being made a priest, being made, a beautiful son of God, who God is well pleased in, because my life is hid in Christ. So I have a new name, and we need to get up and not identify with our perceived past failings. God's not identifying us with that. When you say I am something, you will live up to that. If you say I'm a thief, you'll live up to it. If you say I am disciplined, you'll live up to it. So you got to have a big who. Who am I? We have a worksheet for you to work that out. It's called My Vision for My Life Worksheet. It's a free worksheet on the website. Please enjoy it. Please, you got to work on yourself harder than you work on anything else. That's what I have found. And that means spending a lot of time with the Lord and fellowshipping with the Lord and just working things out. Stepping back from all those false labels that you've identified yourself with. You're not obese. You're not an addict. You're not any of those things. You might have exhibited those behaviors, but that's not who you are. That man or woman's gone. When we become born again, we're supposed to, when people look at us from the old, all they supposed to see is a corpse. I'm a walking dead man. If you see any life in me, any good in me, it's Christ who's living through me. And he is disciplined and full of love and joy and perfect peace. So that's where we need to be if we're going to pick up this tool and use it every day. Because your flesh, y'all know this is true, your flesh, you've let it taste things and touch things that you ought not have. And that flesh, oh boy, does it have a memory of how good something tastes. Oh, how good it is. And your flesh, once it's tasted, that's why the Bible says, don't even look at alcohol when it stirs in the cup. because you never know, you might have that generational curse going on in your life, and you look at it and you can't handle it like Sister Shelby, who can have one glass of wine and stop. You ain't even supposed to look at it. So you've got to be careful what you let your flesh taste. Now, you and I have let our flesh taste Reese's. We've let our flesh taste Doritos. Yes, and just because you become born again, does that memory of them, that good tasting cheese dust, does it go away? That crunchy old cheese dust, does it go away? It don't, does it, Joe? It don't ever go away. You go in the movie theater and smell that hot popping corn with that bad butter on it. It don't ever go away. So you got to know that going into this, there's going to be tempting moments. And the only thing that's going to trump that is your why, and then you listening to what the program's espousing. Focus on what you can have, not on what you cannot have. Focus on what you can have, because we eat great tasting stuff. We eat good, instead of eating great tasting stuff that causes us to gain fat, we're going to eat great tasting stuff that causes us to lose fat. It's got to be simple or people won't do it, and it is simple. So we got a Shibboleth Shield. We're going to unpack it today. This is lesson 2. Sorry, my vitamins are stuck. This is lesson 2, and we're gonna unpack the Shibboleth Shield. This is our lifestyle. Let me ask y'all this. Maybe some of you, Amanda, will engage with me. Some of you are at work and can't. But does the Bible tell us today, tomorrow, next week, next month, and this year is the year of salvation? Is that what it says? It don't say that. It says what? Today. Did he say, I want you to live in the past, Lot's wife? I want y'all to live in the past. Y'all keep looking back and remember all your mistakes. Is that what God said to do? Lord, no. Brother Joseph, did he say you need to worry about tomorrow? You got problems today and they're just going to keep mounting. You better worry about tomorrow and next week and next month. Lord, the zombie apocalypse is coming, and you probably won't ever even be able to stick to this program long enough for them artificial intelligent robots take over and laser zap everybody. So why worry about it today? Is that what he said? He said today is the day of salvation. We take one day at a time. Bible says, be thou perfect. I'm talking about the Shibboleth Shield. What is this bald-headed guy? What's he talking about? I thought we was going to learn how to eat a casserole. We're going to. So we got to look at our lifestyle, though. It's like the samurais. They had a lifestyle. We need to eat those. When you look around, does anybody have a lifestyle anymore that they live by? You could make a case for the carnivore or the vegan, but that's their lifestyle. But I don't want that lifestyle. So I want all these nutrients, but I got to have a way to put them in my body so they don't hurt me. You can take a good thing, too much of it, and it'll hurt you. So I need a way to live where I can live like I live. When we leave church, Mom and Daddy, they're like, let's go to the Mexican restaurant. I need to know what to do there or I'll mess it up. You go over to Mama's. Mom says, all right, it's your brother's birthday. You coming over? And you go over there, you got to know what to eat if you ain't having a holiday. So I take one day at a time, and I've got rules that I enjoy. Be thou perfect. It means to be vigilant, to be mature, to be sober-minded. So I'm mature and sober-minded about today, Tuesday. Thank God it's Tuesday. So I'm going to do it right today, and I've got rules that allow me to do it right. After living up to that 2 days in a row, you are now in EFB. There's just no way around it. If you actually follow the rules that I'm about to go over, you are in EFB. And then you just efficient fat burning mode. And then you just lock it down and rip off the knob. How long do you want to go? It's how I lost over 100 pounds. It's how millions of pounds have been lost. Untold prescription medications gone bye-bye. So we have a perfect day. And after 2, we know if we follow the definitions, we're in EFB. We're in efficient fat burning mode. If I deviate from these rules. You can do them liberally. There's a liberal interpretation. There's a strict, but either way, it's safe. You're going fast or slow towards you go. But if I violate the rules, if I eat that Dorito, that's a holiday. Now, you'd be better off to slip up and have one little handful of Doritos, but you still spike them insulin levels, and now you can't as efficiently burn fat. It's not just a calorie thing. So I say, just for people to get it, this is how I live my life. If I so much as lick the cheese dust off a Dorito, I have to live my life this way. I don't know about you, but I have to. If I so much as lick the cheese dust off a Dorito, it's a holiday. Because after the lick goes the crunch, after the crunch goes the bag. I can't stop it. I tell myself I can. I can't stop at a nibble on a Cheddar Bay biscuit at Red Lobster. The next thing I know, I've rationalized and justified eating a whole basket and asking for another basket. I can do that occasionally. But I can't do that, even a little bit of that on a day. I need to maintain my wits, maintain my discipline, have a way of eating and living that I stand for. It's called perfect days. If I deviate from it, it's a holiday. When you're in the weight loss mode, you can have 6 holidays a month. I'd rather it be a little hollow meal, but what if it's a hog trough meal and you just gobble up all day? That's okay. You'll still lose weight, guaranteed. If all of your other days are perfect, your other days have to be perfect. That's where I went wrong. It was not in my hog trough days where I got in trouble. I wasn't hog troughing it every day, but it was all those so-so okay days when I wasn't optimizing my hormones and working with my body. So perfect days, holidays, no in between, that comes out of the Bible. That's where the whole lifestyle blossomed from. I wish thou were cold or hot, but thou art lukewarm. Therefore, I spew thee out of my mouth. It's not that you know when you're doing it wrong. You know when you're doing it right. It's those rationalizations, the lukewarm living, that gets us in trouble. We live one day at a time. We can have up to 6 holidays a month, 72 a year till we reach our goal, and then we can have 144 a year. We can have 12 days. You could literally, if you'll do this program right, get to your goal. You won't want to, by the way. You won't even want to do this by the time you get there. But you could even you could do Monday through Thursday perfect, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off if you wanted to. And you'd maintain your weight forever if you just follow the principles that we teach for the maintenance part of the program. So how do we do that? What are the rules that ensure this perfect day? I need you to drink a half a gallon to a gallon of water every single day. This is in the workbook. You have a video of a lady teaching this. You have a workbook. You have a book. You have these live classes. Don't overthink it. Don't make it hard. It's easy. We're drinking our water. That's the first rule because that's the easiest one. And we have to have it for survival. If we don't do that and we complain about drinking our water, we're not ready to lose weight. You're just not ready. Water consumption, hydration, and metabolism. When you're dehydrated, you can't efficiently burn fat or efficiently use nutrients. It helps your body burn more calories efficiently, especially when in EFB. It helps with appetite control. Water helps you feel full, and it reduces the tendency to overeat or snack unnecessarily. A lot of times people think they're hungry, they're really thirsty. Detoxification. You have to drink adequate water to flush out toxins and to support overall health and weight loss. Excess body fat stores environmental and food toxins. That's why the more extra body fat that I carry, the weaker my immune system. So it helps. Water is going to help detoxify the body. Half a gallon to a gallon a day. Journal. You need a journal for accountability. Tracking your food intake helps you stay accountable. It also helps you recognize patterns and triggers that lead to overeating and unhealthy choices. My journal, as it relates to Planet Shibboleth, is my friend. It takes very few minutes a day to do it. things have evolved so that I can take my smartphone, take a picture of whatever it is. I don't even have to write it down right then, but I'll remember it. And then before bed, I can put it in my journal. And you need to journal on a holiday more than you do even on a perfect day. You can monitor your progress. You have to be able to do these things if you're going to stay connected and aware. Awareness is critical to getting your health back. And everybody around you is interacting and engaging with food willy-nilly and doesn't need to. This is your temple that we're talking about, and you need to have a tracking system to monitor everything related to it, your emotions. When I identify a trigger, for example, back in the day, it would have looked like this. After church, we were headed home, and the kids wanted a Sonic Blast. I talked myself into it. I got the blast. I put quadruple Reese's in it. Now I'm not going to see any fat burning for 2 days. Why did I do that? What triggered it? FOMO. 20 minutes later, I was at home and I could have made me an approved Sonic Blast, a mock one. And I wouldn't have had any fat bus spike. I would have stayed in EFB. Next time, remind myself that just because the kids want it, don't give me a reason to rationalize having it, wasting the money, causing myself 2 days of my wellness journey. Just wait and get home and have one with the proper recipe. Next time it tastes just as good, and now I don't have to worry about fat gain for 2 days. So that's how we journal. And when you do that, magical things happen, but you got to do it. It's like putting on your deodorant, brushing your teeth. Eating in the proper food combinations, which we start to unpack tomorrow as we go through the categories. When we spike our insulin levels due to spiked blood sugar levels, when we do that, appetite goes up, fat storage takes place, and efficient fat burning stops for up to 2 days. What I've noticed is I haven't done as good a job as I should have teaching food combining, because people think that it's just at that meal that they're more likely to store the fat in the meal. Not so. If you spike your insulin levels, it immediately brings your blood sugar down so you survive. But insulin tapers off very slowly. It's almost impossible to get it down fast like we can get our sugar down. So over the next 2 days, any long-chain triglyceride fat that you eat is more likely to be stored. You need to eat 3 or less episodes a day. You can have a 4th during times of mental weakness, but it needs to be approved. Eating 3 or less times a day and honoring God with that. Eating breakfast for the Father, lunch for the Son, and dinner for the Holy Spirit. It doesn't hurt my feelings if you want to eat air. Air ain't never hurt nobody, and there ain't no calories in it. And where did we get the notion that we need to eat all these different times? Our ancestors didn't do that. But hey, I look at it not like eating. When I tell people on this program we eat 3 times a day, they say, oh, I'll starve to death. Oh my goodness. We have lost our way, brothers and sisters. We have lost our way. That's all we think about. It's like our golden calf of the day. It's like the golden calf. And so we're eating 3 or less times a day in the right portion, whether you're a calorie counter, use your hand rule, or a 6 to 8 inch plate. It doesn't matter, but you have to control your overall portions for the day and by the episode. If you do that, we're on our way. And then we want to fast. When we finish the day, we eat that 3rd eating episode, or the 1st, however your day went, you eat it. At the end of the day, you stop eating. You can have free beverages, plenty of those. You can have freebies like sugar-free gelatin. There's tons of stuff you can do if you must. But the best policy to optimize everything, to get back to homeostasis, all these beautiful things, is to fast at least 12 hours a day. I'd rather you have 16 hours a day of fasting time. You will improve insulin sensitivity. You'll become less insulin resistant. You'll reverse type 2 diabetes. You'll enhance fat burning, and you will repair the cells in your body. Digestion, comes at a great cost. You have to digest food, but it's literally exercise. So you have to push away. Sometimes I'm not going to eat. I'm going to let my body now heal. That's why if you've ever noticed, if you eat a big meal, you don't sleep as deep. You might sleep, you might sweat, but your body's so having to work so hard to digest all that food, you don't sleep deeply and you can't recover. Fasting is important. And then the last rule to having a Shibboleth Shield before we go to the other class, bless the name of the Lord. Bless the name of the Lord at all times. Come back to the Father. Come back. Don't look at me. I've had people lately, I think some of y'all seen some of them on my profile, just getting all over me. And you know what? Don't look at me. You don't like me. It's okay. We're supposed to be looking at the Father. Let's come back to the Father and let's be thankful. That's been a problem of mine my whole life. I focus so much on what I don't have that I forget to focus on what I do. And boy, I am blessed with an abundance of food. I've got a fridge in there that's got enough food to feed me for a week. May not be everything I want tonight, but it'll feed me. I got it made. I got shelter. I can see today. I can talk. I can hear. How blessed we are. We gonna complain over eating 3 meals a day when there's people across the globe that don't get that much food in a week? We are blessed and highly favored of God. And then that's how we have a perfect day. After 2 of those, you're now in EFB. Why wouldn't you want to do it again and again and again if God gives you a tomorrow? And that's the end today. That's the lesson on the Shibboleth Shield. Any questions before we go? Thank you, Sister Penny. Good stuff. I see y'all have that phrase in my brain. I say it daily, Cheryl says.
Travis.
Yes, ma'am.
Just to cover, just to ask one question about, there are some people who the doctor has on a limited amount of fluids. They need to just follow their doctor's orders and drink what they're supposed to drink, right? I mean,
absolutely. So here's the thing. I'm glad you brought that up. This is how I would like you to look at it. And if this comes across the wrong way, please forgive me. If you choose to do Shibboleth because it's practical, sustainable, and fun, I want you to quit listening to everybody but me. Hold on, though. Everybody except everybody, though. I know it's going to make some mad, but your trainer or anybody, they'll so confuse you. Give me a test run. Give me 12 weeks. Whether you believe in me or not, just listen. Except if your doctor tells you to do something different, back down on your water. Don't eat this much protein. Just make sure that you don't trust anybody blindly in that you say, sure, doctor, I'll limit my protein and limit my water. Tell me specifically how much you want me to have. Don't let it be a blanket statement. Sometimes doctors say, don't eat so much protein. That don't tell me nothing. I need to know, well, then what's the number? And then whatever that doctor tells you, you come and let us know, and we can work within that, because there's no doctor that's reasonable. Bring them on here. Doctor. I said, doctor. Doctors love the program. Doctors. There's no doctor anywhere that's reasonable that will find any fault in what I'm teaching. Calorie deficit, insulin control, muscle preservation. And we're going to do that based upon the guidelines that your doctor has given you. And then we'll get you out of the woods, and you'll even be able to eat more liberally or make more liberal decisions. One more person trumps me and trumps your doctor, and that's the great physician. Sometimes the great physician tells me to do things that nobody else will tell me to do, but that's between me and the great physician. And if he tells me to do it, I got to do it. If you do that for 12 weeks, guaranteed life changes for the better. Anybody else? Good question. I'm allergic to eggs. What is it? And I got to bolt to the other class. We can continue the discussion over there. I'm gonna have to go quick so we don't leave our members waiting. I'm allergic to eggs. What is a good substitute for breakfast? I can give you over 100 breakfasts. I wish we had time to give you those. I can rattle them all so fast it'll make your head spin. So Tracy, just know this, come over to members only. We'll unpack a few for you. There's nothing you can't have. But now watch this. Tracy's done us a great service here. This is where we have to be careful. Like, I can't have eggs. A lot of times, like this used to be called the chicken and broccoli program. And it's like, we have 1,000 other options. Don't get so focused, not that Tracy is, don't get so focused on what you can't have that you forget what you can have, because it is endless. Tracy, if you have time, I'll see you over there. If you don't, send an email to info@myshibboleth.com. We'll give you some breakfast ideas. If you want them based upon your likes, we even do that. All right, I'm going to close out, and I'll meet you over there in the members only group. Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in the earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day, Lord, our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. Amen. I'll see y'all over there. Thank y'all.